Indiana representatives vote on Trump's spending cuts bill, impact on NPR, PBS funding. A major shift is shaking the foundations of public media in Indiana, and it's tied to a recent congressional vote that has left journalists and rural communities on edge. But here's where it gets controversial. The decision to slash funding for NPR and PBS has sparked fierce debate over the role of taxpayer-supported media in a politically charged climate. Let's break down what happened and why it matters. In July 2025, all 9 Indiana representatives voted along strict party lines to approve a $9 billion spending cuts bill backed by President Trump. This move directly targets public media, stripping $1 billion in federal funding for organizations like NPR and PBS, while also reducing $8 billion in foreign aid. The final House vote on July 18 mirrored earlier decisions in June, with Indiana's 7 Republican delegates supporting the cuts and the 2 Democrats, Frank Mervyn and Andre Carson, casting opposing votes. The Senate had already passed a similar bill on July 17, with bipartisan support from Indiana's Republican senators, Jim Banks and Todd Young. And this is the part most people miss. While the Trump administration initially sought to eliminate funding for the Global AIDS Program, PEPFAR, moderate Republicans managed to preserve roughly $400 million after raising concerns about the humanitarian impact. This compromise highlights the tricky balance lawmakers face between partisan priorities and public health needs. For Hoosiers, the consequences are tangible. Public media outlets like Indiana Public Broadcasting, which rely on federal and state funding, are bracing for significant cuts. Journalists at these stations were already notified in July 2025 about layoffs after state lawmakers eliminated $7.4 million in public media support. Now, the federal funding loss adds another layer of uncertainty. Greg Petrovich, CEO of WFYI, warned that the combined financial blows could force small and rural stations to shutter entirely. "This isn't just a setback, it's a direct threat to our ability to serve Hoosiers," he said in a statement. Public media leaders argue that these cuts disproportionately harm communities with limited access to alternative news sources. The voting breakdown tells a clear partisan story. Frank Mervyn, D. 1st District, Nay. Rudy Yarkim, Re 2nd District, Yeah. Marlon Stutzman, Re 3rd District, Yeah. James Baird, Re 4th District, Yeah. Victoria Spartz, Re 5th District, Yeah. Jefferson Shreve, Re 6th District, Yeah. Andre Carson, D. 10th District, Nay. Mark Messmer, Re 8th District, Yeah. Erin Huchin, Re 9th District, Yeah. Republican representatives framed the cuts as a necessary step toward streamlining government and reducing waste. U.S. Representative Marlon Stutzman even hinted that this could be the first of many similar bills. Meanwhile, Democrats like Representative Andre Carson have fiercely defended public media, calling it a vital lifeline for communities. In a X post before the vote, Carson emphasized that defunding these outlets risks silencing diverse voices and limiting access to unbiased reporting. But here's the elephant in the room. Critics argue that Trump's push to defund NPR and PBS stems from accusations of liberal bias, which the organizations have consistently denied. Is this a legitimate critique of media independence, or a politically motivated attack? Should taxpayer dollars support public media, or is it time for a new funding model? As the bill heads to Trump for his signature, the debate over public media's future in Indiana and the nation has only just begun. What do you think? Share your views in the comments. Is cutting public media funding a step toward fiscal responsibility or a threat to informed democracy?